Man, can't believe I gave full ratings for 4 movies in a row. Wonder what I should blog next. Whoa, sounds like trouble. I better find out what's going on.
Dear Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, we're sorry that we couldn't alert you about this sooner, but last month, one of the Wicked Nine, Queen Grimhilda's crown, has ended up in Prisma's evil clutches, courtesy of a raven named Wormwood, who has become her new helper. We have been watching your blog show ever since last summer, and we're hoping to ask you a favor to blog Princess Sofia's new episode in the Mystic Isles, please. Thank you and good luck. Orion and Vega, protectors of the Mystic Isles. P.S. Please stay up to date with Princess Sofia's progress.
But I wonder, why did it have to take a whole month to notify me? Oh, hey everyone. I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Now, according to that note that was sent to me from the Mystic Isles, about a month ago, the evil fugitive Prisma got her hands on Queen Grimhilda's crown, one of the Wicked Nine, and she's got herself a new helper in the form of Cedric's raven, Wormwood. I guess, even though Cedric is good, Wormwood isn't, for some reason. But, luckily, even though Princess Sofia has already saved 2 of the Wicked Nine, we still have yet to find out where the heart box is. And of course, there's still 6 objects left to find. Anyway, today, let's look into the newest Mystic Isles episode and see what it has in store for us. Airing on Disney Junior on February 16th, 2018, this is the Mystic Isles, A Hero for the Hoodwinks. Now let's get started. In this episode, after seeing Princess Sofia being rewarded as a protector, Clover decides to take her place on a mission of his own in the Mystic Isles. So, what are my thoughts on this episode? Well, this episode was pretty good, and it was also pretty cute too. But to further explain why I like this episode, let's move on to Mustang notes. Now let's start with the animation, and of course, I still say that the animation is flawless. Plus, I like the fact that this is Clover's first time going to the Mystic Isles. I also like the new Isles featured in this episode. For example, the Isle of Wee Sprite is pretty cute, with small houses everywhere. A few of the said houses are underneath hills. Speaking of which, since I haven't really gotten to talking about Wee Sprites on my show yet, let me tell you guys about what they are for those who haven't watched Sofia's show. Wee Sprites are very small elf-like creatures who love to have fun and cause mischief, which usually gets out of hand if they are ever invited into someone's house, and they will only leave if they are tricked into saying they want out. About 3 years ago, in the episode The Littlest Princess, Sofia met 3 Wee Sprites named Button, Benji, and Brody. She saved them from a fountain which granted her the ability to shrink or grow whenever she wished. But afterwards, Sofia got into some trouble, because her amulet cursed her to stay small due to her disobeying her mother and inviting the Wee Sprites into her castle. After Sofia got Button, Benji, and Brody to leave and went back to her normal size, she let them move into her dollhouse away from the castle for safety reasons. A few months later, in the episode All the Sprite Moves, Sofia's friend, Princess Vivian, asked the Wee Sprites to make the castle she was moving into seem haunted. While they did so, they got discovered by Sofia, who confronted Vivian afterwards. Later, Vivian fed them liking berries, which made them smitten with Sofia upon seeing her. Sofia then used this opportunity to make them say they want to leave, which, of course, got them out. Afterwards, Sofia took them to the garden and fed them blueberries, which returned them to normal. Anyway, there's another isle in this episode called the Isle of Magical Birds. Sadly, I can't really describe it due to the fact that Sofia goes there off screen. However, there are two little nitpicks I have with this episode. The first is that this episode doesn't really show any build-up to what Prisma is up to next, since she, along with Twitch and Wormwood, don't appear in this episode. The second is that Sofia isn't the main character in this episode. But that doesn't mean I can't like this episode. Also to note, the moral of this episode is a true hero does good deeds because they want to help, not to get rewarded. I find this to be another good moral because, to me, doing good deeds just to be rewarded is pretty selfish in my eyes. Plus, I'm glad I got to do some good deeds in my life, most of which were during the times of my Troop 604 Boy Scout times. The most notable good deed I did, with help from my scout friends and family, was fix Glen Yermo Elementary School's USA map, where children play state tag. This was my final obstacle that I needed in order to become a full-fledged Eagle Scout. Now let's talk about the song featured in this episode, The Boldest, Bravest Bunny of All Time, which is a song the Hoodwinks made for Clover. I really like how Hidey and the other Hoodwinks sing this while they worship Clover. To me, this song reminds me of Zero to Hero from Hercules and Blue Ribbon Bunny from 5 years ago. Plus, there's a Wizard of Oz reference during the song. I also like the part where Clover worships Sofia during his verse. Plus, the animation during this song has a lot of flair in it, and most of it feels like a comic book. Also, Clover's superhero costume seems like the kind of outfit he should wear during St. Patrick's Day, since he wears a green mask and there's a shamrock on his outfit. Anyway, now it's time to move on to the cast. Our future protector of the Everrealm, Princess Sofia, is again voiced by Ariel Winter, who has been in Modern Family, Speed Racer, Bambi 2, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and Smurfs The Lost Village. To me, Sofia has become more skilled as a protector. My favorite things that she does in this episode is stop a baker's horse from going over a bridge that's under construction, and the part where she shrinks on the Isle of Wee Sprites. I'm also impressed that Sofia is a princess who does good deeds because she wants to help, not for getting rewarded. Also, the part where Sofia is being taught to use her wind whip makes me think of the arrow spell that's featured in the Kingdom Hearts games. Our main character, Clover, is once again voiced by Wayne Brady, who got to be in Clifford's Really Big Movie and Food Fight. Now, while Clover is still my favorite animal in Sofia's show, I think in this episode, Clover is a bit boastful, due to the fact that he wants to be as heroic as Sofia. Also, there are a few times where Clover tries to be a hero, like when he gets some Wee Sprites to leave the Hoodwinks tree by telling them about the Rompkin Romp, which ends up causing trouble for Harump and the other Rompkins, and he tries to stop the Badger Birds by trapping them inside Buzzer's house, which was a bad idea, due to the fact that there was a cloning potion inside. But, in the end, Clover becomes a true hero when he and Sofia work together to stop the Badger Birds and get them back to their isle. Next we come to the leader of the Hoodwinks, Hidey, once again voiced by Brittany Ross, best known from Good Luck Charlie. Now, the last time I talked about her was when I blogged A Very Mystic with Celia last December. In that episode, Sofia asked Hidey if the Rompkins could use their tree for Wassalia, which they accept on the condition that the Hoodwinks can still use their tree as their home. In this episode, however, Hidey and the Hoodwinks were having a bit of a Wee Sprite problem, and was looking for Sofia, hoping that she could help. But when Clover volunteers to help in Sofia's place, Hidey is impressed. And, to me, Hidey is still as adorable as she was when we viewers were introduced to her on the show. And I really like that headband and cottontail she made in order to honor Clover. Next we come to the new Wee Sprites, Blaze, Brick, and Babble, voiced by Marie Harrington, Brian Cummings, and Chris Edgerly. These three have been causing a ruckus in the Hoodwinks tree because they were chased off their isle by Badger Birds. To me, they're pretty similar to Button, Benji, and Brody. In fact, one of these Wee Sprites is related to Button. Finally, we have Buzzer, voiced by Carrie Payton, who got to voice Alfalfa in The Very Mystic with Celia, and he's also best known as Cyborg from Teen Titans, and Wasabi from Big Hero 6, the series. Buzzer is responsible for causing the Badger Birds infestation. He brought one back from the Isle of Magical Birds and used a cloning potion on it as a prank. He was the only Wee Sprite who stayed behind on his isle, and, in my eyes, he was a very decent supporting character, and he was pretty funny in my opinion. And now, let's move on to my final words. Overall, The Mystic Isles, A Hero for the Hoodwinks, is a decent and cute episode. While Clover may be my favorite character, and I do like that he wants to be as heroic as Sofia, he was mostly boastful and a screw-up throughout this episode. But, thankfully, he did make up for it when he and Sofia worked together. The animation was still pretty good in my opinion, and the song featured in this episode was very catchy. Also, it was great seeing Hidey and the Hoodwinks again after 2 months. Plus, the moral of heroism and doing good deeds makes the story very strong. As for my rating, I give this episode an 87% out of 100. Now, I hear that the next Mystic Isles episode is going to be airing on TV this coming Friday, and trust me, I'll blog that episode when the time comes. But in the meantime, be sure to join me for my next blog, because I'm going to blog a movie that everyone has wanted ever since November 2002. Mustang Power.